Joining me now is Mike Triplett of the Times-Picayune and NOLA.com for this final time of the season. The Saints campaign mercifully ending, Mike, at 7-9, a season the likes of which none of us have ever seen in football before. But hope does spring eternal because Sean Payton is on his way back.
Well, it's a shame. When I got some player reaction and when we wrote the early reaction to the Sean Payton news on Friday night, everybody couched it along with how they're finishing the season, that everything's starting to turn the right direction. We're playing our best football. We're on a hot streak. We've got momentum. We've got Payton back. Happy New Year, a great way to start the year, and what a buzzkill this was to end the season. And in some ways, I feel like they took this loss as hard as any loss they took all season. They really felt good about where they were, and they were playing pretty well. They were up 24-13 in the third quarter before the bottom just completely dropped out. One last slap in the face before 2012 was over.
Here's something to take with you on the way out. They're paying Belichick money to Payton. In your mind, how many games really did Payton's absence cost this team this year?
It's so tough to say, and you can't discount it. You can't discount it. I think it obviously started with everything started with the cloud it put over the team, and they obviously didn't take the right approach to it. I think they were all kind of, don't worry, nothing to see here, everything's fine. Kind of slowly started the season 0-4 and dug themselves that early hole. And then from that point, they were never in their comfort zone. So that changes everything game to game. I don't know if you could specifically pinpoint, he would have called a certain play in this game and that would have changed everything. But this entire season was obviously painted by what they were going through, and they didn't handle it as well as they would have liked.
Yeah, way out of routine. There was him not being here, of course, but there was also the musical chairs that were going on. Joe Vitt not being able to be with his linebacking core full time. Aaron Cromer with the offensive line. It goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
How much did that affect the team?
It all had to play a part, and especially, like I said, the fact that they're doing all this while they're 0-1 and then 0-2 and then 0-3 and sort of in a panic mode. And, nobody ever felt comfortable. But you got to give credit. First of all, I think Cromer deserves credit that people kind of forget, and obviously Joe Vitt too, that they didn't let this thing completely get out of hand. I mean, the fact that they went from 0-4 to 5-5 is a credit to both Aaron Cromer and Joe Vitt and the kind of guys they have in the locker room. And I think we'd really be singing their praises if they had finished this season 8-8. But obviously, the way this season ended, it was just one last stop on that roller coaster ride for the whole year.
I agree with you 100% on that. Way too early to gaze into the crystal ball. We're just a few hours out from the end of the season. But in your mind, what can we expect to see as far as guys leaving, as far as needs that need to be met come next season?
Well, that's not a pretty picture either. It's the one unfortunate buzzkill going into 2013 that they're in real salary cap trouble. They're going to have to make some tough decisions. I know Jonathan Vilma is in here tonight, and Will Smith are among two veterans who might have to agree to pay cuts, or they're going to have to get real creative with how they structure their contracts if they're going to stick around. They're not going to be able to spend big in free agency. You'd like to say, they need to bring in 2 or 3 new guys to overhaul that defense. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to do that. So it's really going to have to come from within. The core leaders of this team, they're going to have a high draft pick, but the core leaders of this team are the guys they're going to count on to get them out of this next year.
Yeah, well, it was a mess and it wasn't fun, but thank you for joining us anyway. It's got to get better.
Exactly.
Right? All right, Mike Triplett, Times-Picayune, NOLA.com. Thanks for all your insight. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
My friend,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.